fellow crafters, crocheters, knitters, and DIYers alike. We are reaching that time of year where advent calendars are going to be coming out. And every year they shock me with their prices. Because last time I checked, it's mostly still yarn and stitch markers and the cheapest versions of hooks and needles. And when I see the price for what they offer versus my lovingly handcrafted collection of gloriously anti-carpal tunnel supplies, I just can't. I guess even when they're like 70% off, I still just can't go for those advent calendars. I mean, heck, if I just go and play with my own yarn collection right now, I surprise myself all the time with stuff I know I forgot I had. Or as my grandmother used to say, you hiding your own Easter eggs yet? Because you still have the joy of finding them. Grandma wasn't wrong. But here's my suggestion for anyone. Either you could rather pay for your family to have a good Christmas versus paying for an advent calendar, or you just, I wouldn't say you have to be unsatisfied with it, but the surprise it gives, just give me tea and chocolate. If there's an advent calendar that just had tea and chocolate in it, I would totally go for that. Completely go for that. Or just make up your own calendar. Like, it's early enough now to where if you waited the month and a half or almost 2 months before the Christmas holiday season would be here, you could literally make your own advent, hide it from yourself, and then like do it. Because you know what you like. I mean, I could make one with Lindor truffles and 3 or 4 different types of Arabic tea, and I'd be set. I got enough yarn to choke a horse around here. Don't look too closely, but 1 or 2 of those is eBay, but come on, that many tubs of yarn? I'm working down my stash. It's a labor of love, so to speak. But I'm not saying that the advent calendars are like a con or something. Y'all are adults. You do whatever you want with your money, but I just can't let myself. I just can't. I got too many beautiful yarns around here that are not in 2-ounce increments. I can't get excited by stuff that looks like scrap yarn. And I know a lot of people use a lot of little bits and pieces for whatever, but the projects I make, if it's less than 3 balls, I'm out. Even this one was 2 very large skeins. It only made this, but it's a huge Mobius scarf, and this yarn's been discontinued, by the way. And it's gorgeous and soft and fluffy, and it's the only metallic I've ever found that comes soft. So sorry it's discontinued. I'd rather have this kind of surprise rather than you now have 24 balls of acrylic and they're that big. I'm going to need a lot of tea and chocolate to recover from that. Where's my tea and chocolate advent calendar to help me recover from my 12 to 24 micro balls of acrylic? I can make my own micro balls of acrylic. I'm a crafter. Just saying. Or heck, just macrame one might be more interesting. Or what if there was like one for like a rug, like a rope rug? That's something I haven't made yet. It's useful, because I hate when people make useless things. I know there's all that amigurumi and kids deserve toys, but when most of these toys are going to adults, I'm not against half fandom. I'm not against people obsessing. I'm just not one of them. I'd rather do quirky stuff. Like, I made this elfin hat that I'm probably gonna, it comes to a very thin little, like, stem point at the end, and I'm probably gonna put some Christmas bells on it and drive everybody nuts. But it's warm, it's Christmas, it serves a purpose, and it's more than decorative. That's 4 things, people. Most animaguri are not worth 4 things, other than hug, love, wash, rinse, repeat. And it's not judgment on them, it's just that's how they would fit into my life. Not a lot of room. I got cats for that whole pet, love, rinse, repeat. Or brush, repeat. They're big fans of being combed. No, Bella. She loves getting on my desk, and then she loves shedding on everything. We gotta keep everything clean. I'm always cleaning. Yes. She stands on the little thing where I keep the crochet hooks. No. You're not ruining mohair. Alright, the mohair was saved from the cat because her nails get into everything and they start shredding, and no cats are allowed to be near anything. They have enough string. We tied it to a back scratcher and we go cat fishing. All you gotta do is have a string that runs through the house. You can go cat fishing. But yes, the crafting advent calendars need to be rethought or better planned or be more interesting. I mean, I was looking at advent calendars of all kinds as like actual Christmas gifts, and the fishing ones looked more interesting. The fishing ones, if the barbs on them weren't so sharp, they'd be just another substitute for stitch holders. They all start to look the same after a while. Or who knows, if they're all on sale after Christmas, it might be a cheaper option, because it seems like knitters will use just about anything to stick on a needle and say, oh, it's a stitch marker. So is a piece of scrap yarn that you tie into a loop. I know we all want to obsess more and more over what we're doing, but is the obsession really necessary? What does it prove? What does it get you? Why not focus more on production of useful things? Or just don't worry about where your stitch markers come from. I mean, half the time I think people buy them is because they want to feel less guilty about supporting small business, and it was the cheapest thing that the person sells. I mean, I get buying the cheapest thing to say, hey, yeah, I support them, but I can still sleep good at night knowing I didn't buy something I didn't need. You know what I mean? So, still trying to finish to use up all the yarn and wearing everything. Because in Texas, there's not a lot of opportunities necessarily to wear absolutely everything. But it's probably about 80 degrees outside. I got that vent right up there that blows directly on me. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm cold, and I'm trying not to get a sore throat. So, I do wear a lot of my stuff. I gotta remind myself to wear my 9-foot scarf from that elephant color panel. Basically, it looks like really long pieces of scrap yarn, and then they switch them out every so often, so it's like rainbow aggregated color. If it was any smaller, it would just look like crappy, scrappy tweed. But because it is so big, you see a full rainbow. So it's gorgeous, darling. It's gorgeous. I might model it again. And then underneath it, I had another Christmas scrap poncho. It only comes down to about there, but if you just need something warm on your chest, it works. And it's just the most basic shape that everyone else uses. It's like you crochet a chain a little bit bigger than your head, and then you just increase, like you do your circle, you break it into 4 pieces, and then you just increase wherever each of those 4 dots are all the way out, and next thing you know, you got a poncho that's pointy like a square kind of. And that's what I used for one of the other Christmas yarn scrap thingies. Doesn't look too bad. Or we all know how horrible variegated red, white, and green yarn, especially if it's the Red Heart Quran variety, can look a little 1960s cringe. This is a little bit better than 1960s cringe, and it sparkles. So maybe I'll pull it out again because I'm pretty sure I showed that one last year. And anything else that hasn't been shown is just a hat that had a nice variegated, almost like leopard print type colors. Other than that, I'm still knitting up some of the big stuff and finishing it off. And I finished one whole ball with this one. It's about the size of a baseball, but it took me a year because it's cobweb lace. But I finished one crochet sock / slipper. I need to finish the other one. I need to finish the tutorial on the fingerless gloves. But I'll probably do that tomorrow because tomorrow's a full day off. I'm just trying to keep making videos because we all have our craft journey, and to not constantly acknowledge that it is a journey that deserves documentation, because there are changes, there are updates, and things do get completed. Sometimes with success, sometimes not. And to share in that learning could help somebody. And it also proves whether or not you can value yourself. And that's what the sharing process is for me. It's like, yes, there is worth in my insanity. There is learning here. There is value. But yeah. Every time I think, yeah, this will be the year I'll buy an advent calendar, won't it be cool? And every time I look through all my piles and piles of yarn, I think this would make a really cool advent calendar if they knew how to mix it right. Or maybe I'll just do a cake of mixed yarn. Because I have enough thin stuff, especially that thread size, it goes like thread, cotton puff, thread, cotton puff. Mixing that in with a solid. It's gorgeous. The strawberries and cream bikini top that it made, even though for me it's more like, oh, another fabric sample. It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous and soft and stretchy in all the right places. And it had to be knit. It couldn't have been crocheted. And I feel so good proving to myself that I was smart. That's what that did for me. But who knows what else I can share with the world. Because if anyone's looking for just like small balls of yarn, there's a $15 kit at Hobby Lobby. I think there might be also a $24 one, but it's like triple the size. And it's just little balls of yarn. There's a lot of them. Oh, I think I got this once from somebody. I kept this because to me this is like a Christmas ornament, but not. From Lion Brand. This is a whole ball, it was like a mini ball of yarn. Do you really want to pay too much for 12 of these? Now, of course, this is a color they gave me that I would never use because it looks like bile. The color to me is called bile. But the size of it and how small it is, of what they think they can get away with, that they'll get money for, is just, that's why I keep it. It's like, even the small stuff, people will pay for. Just saying. I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Any shop links or whatever will be down below. I still have all those hooks and whatever on eBay, and all the patterns are still on Etsy because Etsy offers instant download. That's why I keep them separate, because eBay doesn't. Peace out. Stay crafty.